all the 16 English tenses. Guys, ከዛሬ ጀምሮ 16ቱን የጊዜ ሐላፊዎች ወይም ቴንሶች ማወቅ ይጠበቅብናል. So please subscribe for my channel. Hello guys, welcome to my channel. If you are new for this channel, please like, subscribe and hit the notification bell. We have 16 tenses in English. Each tense has their own structure and use. So today, we will learn about all the 16 tenses. Let's begin. Present simple, I ate banana. Present continuous, I am eating banana. Present perfect, I have eaten banana. Present perfect continuous, I have been eating a banana. Past simple, I ate banana. Past continuous, I was eating banana. Past perfect, I had eaten banana. Past perfect continuous, I had been eating banana. Future simple, I will eat banana. Future continuous, I will be eating banana. Future perfect, I will have eaten banana. Future perfect continuous, I will have been eating banana. Conditional simple, I would eat banana. Conditional continuous, I would be eating banana. Conditional perfect, I would have eaten banana. And finally, conditional perfect continuous, I would have been eating banana. Watch until the end. The first one is the present tense. Present tense has 4 subdivisions. The first one is the present simple. Example, I work abroad. The use of present simple is to talk about general statement and factors and also habits. The second one is the present continuous. I am working now. The use of present continuous is to talk about actions that are happening at the time of speaking. Present perfect. I have worked my assignment. The use of present perfect is to talk about past events that has a present consequence. And present perfect continuous. I have been working my assignment since 2 o'clock. The use of present perfect continuous is to talk about actions started in the past and continuing to the present. Let us see each one by one. The first one is the present simple. Structure. He or she or it plus base form of the verb or simply V1 plus S or ES depending on the verb plus the complement of the sentence. Or I or we or they or you plus V1 plus complement. That means without adding S or ES instead of I, we, they, and you. The use of the present simple is 1. To express habitual action. 2. To talk about general truths. For example, I always eat my breakfast. This is a habitual action. And the sun rises in the east. This is a general truth. So, in order to express habitual action and general truths, we use the present simple. The second one is the present continuous. Structure, subject plus am or is or are or simply verb to be plus verb ing plus the complement. Example, I am playing a basketball. He is doing his assignment. They are watching a movie. Use it is used to express actions that are happening right now or at the time of speaking. The next one is the present perfect. Structure, subject plus has or have plus V3 form of the verb or past participle plus a complement. Okay, we use has for singular subject and we use have for plural subject. Example, I have done my homework. We have met the Prime Minister. Sarah has eaten her breakfast. Sarah has eaten her breakfast. The use is to talk about actions that start in the past and continue to the present. For example, I have lived all my life in Canada. She has been at university since 2020. That means starting from 2020, she is in the university or at the university. And the second use of this tense is to talk about the experience up to the present. Example, I have read the Holy Bible. She has been to London 3 times. And the third use of this sentence, this tense, is to talk about past events and actions that have a consequence in the present. Look, for example, I have eaten breakfast, so I am not hungry. Okay? The first part of the sentence is the past action, and the second one, that is I am not hungry, is the consequence or the present consequence. Joan has lost his key, so he is going to late for work. He is going to late for work is the consequence. And the next one is the present perfect continuous. Structure, subject plus has or have plus been plus verb ing plus the complement. It's similar with the present perfect except the structure. For example, I have been eating chocolate. Use. It is used to talk about things that we have been doing interrupted, that have not finished, and used to emphasize how long something has been happening. Example, I have been watching that TV show for a week. And also, it's used to talk about things that have been done recently or lately. Look, for example, look, it has been raining. Look, it has been raining. And the next one is the past tense. Like that of the present tense, past tense has 4 branches or 4 subdivisions. The first one is the past simple. For example, I worked abroad last summer. And the use of past simple is to talk about past and finished actions. Past continuous. For example, I was working at 2 p.m. yesterday. The use of past continuous is to talk about continuing action at some point in the past. Then next, past perfect. I had worked there for 2 years before I got my promotion. And the use of past perfect is to talk about past action that happened before another past action. And finally, past perfect continuous. For example, I had been working there for 2 years before I finally got my promotion. And the use of past perfect continuous is to talk about past actions that continue to a past point in the time. Let us see each one by one. The first one is past simple. Structure, subject plus V2 form of the verb plus the object. It's used to talk about past and finished action. For example, I did my assignment. My father gave me a gift. I went to bed at 4 p.m. last night. Tom ate a box of chocolate. The next one is past continuous. Structure, subject plus was or were plus verb ing plus the complement. And it's used to talk about what was happening at a specific moment in the past. Look, for example, Tom was cooking dinner at 7 p.m. yesterday. Shakira was dancing on the stage 4 years ago. This tense can also be used to describe background information. For example, Joan was talking to me while I was recording my video. It was raining when I went outside. My friend was dancing when I was singing. Okay? So, one part of the sentence is the background information. For example, the first example, Joan was talking to me while I was recording my video. From this sentence, Joan was talking to me is the background information. It was raining when I went outside. So, it was raining is the background information. My friend was dancing is also the background information. And it's also used when an ongoing action was interrupted by another action. For example, we were eating dinner when he arrived. Eating dinner is longer action here, while he arrived is a shorter action. They were talking about the holiday when Betty called them. So, they were talking about the holiday is a longer action and Betty called them is a shorter action. The next one is the past perfect. Structure, subject plus had plus past participle. It's used to talk about events that happened before another event or up to a certain point in the past. Example. When I arrived at the bus station, the bus had already left. So, from this sentence, we are talking about an event happened before another event. And she had traveled 10 countries before her third birthday. She had worked in the company for 5 years before it closed. We had already eaten, so we were not hungry when the dinner was served. And the next one is past perfect continuous. Structure, subject plus had been plus verb ing plus the complement. Past perfect and past perfect continuous is used interchangeably by the native speaker without changing any meaning. For example, I had worked there for 5 years when the company closed, and I had been working there for 5 years when the company closed. Look, those two examples. The first one is the past perfect and the second one is the past perfect continuous, but they have no any meaning difference. However, you should use for the following two situations. The first one is when you do to talk about a certain action in the past that continued up to a certain time and continued after it, or you should talk about repeated action happened in the past up to a certain point. Example, they had been working for hours before they decided they were lost. And the orchestra had been practicing for a month before the concert happened. Okay? And the other is the future tense. The future tense. Future tense, like that of the present tense and the past tense, it has 4 subdivisions. The first one is the future simple. For example, I will work in the summer, and the use of future simple is to talk about events or actions we believe will happen in the future. And the second one is the future continuous. For example, I will be working at 2 p.m. tomorrow. The use of future continuous is talk about an action at the specific moment in the future. Future perfect. I will have worked there for 2 years on Monday. The use of future perfect is to talk about an action that is planned or expected to happen before a certain time in the future. And finally, future perfect continuous. I had been working there for 2 years on Monday. And the use of future perfect continuous is to talk about an action will continue up to a certain point in the future. Let us look each one by one. The future simple. Structure, subject plus will plus base form of the verb, or simply V1. And used to talk about things will happen in the future. For example, I think it will rain tomorrow. I am sure you will love this book. And it's used to talk about to make offer or promise. Okay, used to make offer or promise. For example, I will help you carrying those boxes. And David will call you tomorrow. Okay, so it's used to make offer from the first example and promise for the second example. David will call you tomorrow is a promise. And I will help you carry those boxes is also a promise. And is used to describe facts in the future. For example, our house will be 50 years old soon. So this is a fact in the future. And it will be your 7th birthday next month. This is also a fact in the future. The other one is future continuous. Structure, subject plus will be plus verb ing plus the complement. And is used to talk about actions that will be in the progress at a certain time in the future. Those actions will start and end in the future, but we don't know when. For example, I will be eating dinner at 8 p.m. tomorrow. That means I don't know when I will finish. Okay, I don't know the exact time when I will finish. I will be playing football tomorrow. Next, future perfect. Structure, subject plus will plus have plus past participle. It's used to talk about actions or status that will be completed before a certain point in the future. We often use time clauses with the future perfect like by the time and by then. Look, for example, I will have retired by the time I am 65. And you will have finished the popcorn before the film starts. And come over at 9 p.m. My parents will have left by then. So from those three examples, we use by the time and by then. By the time and by then are time clause. The other one is the future perfect continuous. Structure, subject plus will have been plus verb ing. And used to describe actions that will be continuing at a certain point in the future. Example, she will have been living in Canada for 3 months. When I retire next month, I will have been working here for 3 years. Okay? And the other one is the conditional tenses. Conditional tenses has 4 subdivisions. The first one is conditional simple. Example, I would work abroad if I could. The use of conditional simple is to talk about hypothetical action in the present. The next one is conditional continuous. I would be working abroad now if I was not stuck here. The use of conditional continuous is to talk about hypothetical continuing action in the present. The next one is conditional perfect. I would have worked abroad last year, but I didn't get my visa. And the use of this tense is to talk about hypothetical action in the past. And finally, conditional perfect continuous. I would have been working here for a longer if I had got my visa earlier. And the use of this tense is to talk about hypothetical action that started in the past and continued. Let us look each one by one. Conditional simple. Structure: subject plus would plus base form of the verb plus the complement. Example: she would work for work. I would travel in the first class. Let us couple the sentences into another idea. She would work for work if she lived closer. Okay? She would work for work if she lived closer. And I would travel in the first class if I won the lottery. You can use could, might, and should instead of would. For example, he could get a dog if he wanted. You should see a doctor. I might go to the beach tomorrow. So, look those three examples. We use could, should, and might instead of would. The next one is a conditional continuous. Structure: subject plus would be plus verb ing. We have to focus on the duration of the hypothetical action and used for longer action that we want to emphasize how long an action would take. And used to talk about an unfinished or continuing hypothetical action. For example, I would be writing an email if I was at work, but I am not at work, so I am not writing an email. And he would be walking his dog right now if he had not broken his leg, meaning he has broken his leg, so he can't. You can use could, should, and might instead of would, but the meaning is slightly different or change it. For example, you should be unpacking the shopping I just bought. Or I could be sitting on the beach in Jamaica right now. And the other one is the conditional perfect. Structure: subject plus would have plus participle. And it's used to when we want hypothetical change the past. Okay, used when we want hypothetically change the past, and we talk about what we would have done. Look, we talk about what we would have done. Look, for example, I would have told Joan not to come. I would have bought that house, but I couldn't afford it at that time. She would have cooked a big meal, but she didn't know you were coming. And I could have bought that house, but I didn't. You should have told me. Okay, you should have told to me we could have done. And the 16th tense or the last tense is the conditional perfect continuous. Structure: subject plus would have been plus verb ing. And used to talk about the hypothetical result of an action that starts in the past. And we use a continuous tense to indicate the duration of an action. For example, I would have been wearing my blue jacket if I had washed it. He would have been working in Dubai if he hadn't taken the job in London. You can also use could, might, and should instead of would. For example, you should have been feeling better yesterday. She could have been living in Japan if she had taken a language course at university. This is all, guys. I hope you have a better understanding about the 16 English tenses. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.